Well, welcome to the Neighborhood Ambassador Citizens Academy, Week 10. We want to thank everyone for making it here. I know it was a bit difficult finding this location, so thank you. For today's session, we're going to hear from the Utilities Department in regards to housekeeping. So the restrooms are located, if you exit this room to the left, straight ahead, gentlemen's restrooms, and then to the right is the women's restrooms. Light snacks and refreshments are provided to your right. We also have a tour planned for today. We will be getting on a transit bus today, so we are excited for you to see the facility. But without further ado, we would like to turn it over to Olga Woodland, who will be presenting on utilities. So let's give her a warm welcome. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for coming, listening me talk. Quick warning. Unfortunately, wastewater superintendent couldn't make it today. He had emergency, so I will cover that section. If you have question I don't know answer to, I will collect your question. I will get back with you because I work in the drinking water division. So I'm a compliance superintendent in drinking water division. I've been with utilities for 21 years, 21 plus years. I actually started in wastewater, so I understand the treatment, so I hopefully can assist you with questions you have. But with that, let's move on with my presentation first. So Brant one who couldn't make it, unfortunately, and Mary's here also. She was directing traffic, so she is with our recycling. She's our recycling program coordinator, so she will talk at the end after my water and wastewater presentations. So utilities department main functions are potable water treatment, wastewater treatment, reclaimed water, and solid waste and recycling programs. So it's the main functions that we do in here in utilities. So with potable water, we'll go a little bit about our stats and a little bit history of our drinking water plant. We actually have a wonderful drinking water plant in here, which goes back to the 60s, and I will touch base a little bit on that. I will talk about our sources, treatment, and distribution of water to your homes. So our unincorporated Manatee County contains Anna Maria, Holmes Beach, and Bradenton Beach. We also sell water, wholesale water to City of Palmyra, Town and Long Bay Key. Town and Long Bay Key, most water comes from Manatee County, just a little bit comes from Sarasota. We also sell some water to Sarasota County and parts of City of Bradenton. And the City of Bradenton have their own plant. It's just some areas difficult for them to serve. It's why Manatee County provides water due to geographics. Our reservoir and water treatment plant was built back in 1960, so we broke ground in 1965. It was expanded several times in 79 and 89. We did add, so it started with reservoir, with our surface water, and we add some East County well field, so we have combination of well water and surface water for our sources. Our current treatment capacity is 84 MGD, million gallons a day. We delivered an average 49 million gallons a day in 2024, and we do have first portable ASR system in state of Florida. We had actually a lot of firsts in Manatee County. Our commissioners were always visionaries. So we were ahead of the curve and a lot of programs in Manatee County, which a lot to be proud of is our drinking program. We have 5 booster pump stations, and we have 6 elevated storage tanks and 6 ground storage tanks. So we have a lot of storage also in our distribution system. I'm sorry. Aquifer storage and recovery wells. So ASR, it's a well you can pump finish water to and store for a period of time, and you can recover when you need it. So currently we permit it for emergency operations, but I can touch base on that on ASR. So when originally ASR actually went in, it was designed to put finished water and just retrieve it and put straight to distribution system, but we ran into some additional issues. We retreat that water now, but it's good still to have, water in storage if in case we need it. In case we have emergency, we lost a well field, we lost a lake, something happened, we still have additional water we can serve our county. So this is map of our county. portable water distribution. Orange, it's where people have our county water meters, and in the green areas, it's where we sell it through wholesale meter. Just one meter, and they distribute themselves. So it's the city of Palmetto, city of Bradenton, Sarasota County, and Long Beach Keys in here. So we are part of Southwest Florida Water Management District. So we have 5 water management districts in Manatee and the state of Florida. It's a state agency which regulates sources of water. So they're in charge of sources like DEP, Department of Environmental Protection. Then they're more in charge of finished water quality, and public health. Southwest Florida Water Management District in charge of sources. So I need to have a permit from them, from SwissMod, to have to pump from the lake, to pump from the well. I only can take so much water from our sources. So they regulate all the sources of drinking water or any water, as a matter of fact. So we located this in Manatee County inside Southwest Florida Water Management District. So this is a little bit history trip. Those our commissioners on October 23rd, 1965, they broke ground to build Manatee County Dam and Manatee County Reservoir. It was very controversial decision at the time. Every single one of them ended up being voted out of the office. Originally, Sarasota County was going with Manatee to have this source of water for both counties. Sarasota County bailed out. Manatee County decided to go forward with it. It is alternative water source to the groundwater, which most people use. So it set Manatee County really good with water sources compared to anybody else in the state of Florida. So they were such a visionary. It was a great decision. Turned out it was the best decision these people could have made, but it was not very popular at the time. So, and this is some aerials. So picture on the left, you see it's before dam went in, before reservoir was built. And in here, this picture is our Lake Manatee, which look largely like that right now. Here's the dam, you see Lake Manatee, and this is our A basin or regional basin. So when plant was originally built, it was one basin. We took water from the plant, we treat through one basin, filter, and we send it to distribution system. So currently, this is your A basin in here. This original basin still in operations today. But since then, we add the B basin. You see on top, these 2 basins treat lake water, which comes from Lake Manatee. And you see C basin on top left corner. You see how turquoise and beautiful that water is. That water comes from well. So it comes from East County well field. Water a lot easier to treat, but it's very limited in here. So we cannot get any more quantities. It is what it is. It's what we have now, unless we get replacement credits from someone else who owns the water rights. So this is another aerial of our water treatment plant. You see Lake Manatee again, your A basin, B basin, C basin. We have elevated tank, 1 million gallon elevated tank, and couple 10 million gallons finished water storage tanks. So that's what plant looks like today. And so 2/3 of our drinking water comes from Lake Manatee today. So you can see a difference between how water looks like. And about 1/3 comes from deep groundwater. It's a upper Floridan aquifer in East County well field. The most our groundwater comes from there. Again, this is your source water. You see how yellow, high in color our lake water is compared to our well water, which is super clear. 2/3 again, built in 60s. Our lake about 1,800 square acres, almost 6 billion gallons when full. We permitted to pump 34, almost 35 mgd a day. A lot of watershed. Watershed, it's an area around our Lake Manatee where water runs into the lake. So, and it's in public ownership, about 40% of it. So we really trying to protect our watershed. We don't want anything. We don't want to end up in our waters. So we monitor our watershed, but about 40% owned by the county or a state because part of it is a state park. And groundwater, most of water comes from East County well fields. We have 7 wells. So wells went in 1991. It was original 5 wells, and in 2009 we add 2 more wells, wells 6 and 7 in East County well field, because we obtain additional credits and we can pump more water from East County well field. They are 20-inch wells, about 1,200 feet deep. About 15 miles east from our water treatment plant. They are located in Duet Park. It's where our East County well field is located. So we pump just over 19 MGD. It's what's permitted to pump from East County well field. We cannot pump more than that. And we also pump almost 2 million gallons from Mosaic well field. It's located about in between of East County well field and our plant. Well field owned by Mosaic Company, but they letting us pump 2 million gallons from one of their wells. Yes.
Question for you. It says 40% of the watershed is in public ownership. So that means 60% is in private. So is there
Yes.
housing development?
It could be farms, could be housing development. It's just owned by someone else. It's a privately owned. Yeah. We have no control. There are some regulations in place about about what you can do with your land. Like you really shouldn't be neglectful, but it's like limited control. Yeah. Yes.
I'm not sure I know what MGD means.
Million gallons a day. Sorry, abbreviations. So, and we do have a proposed Buffalo Creek plant. So this plant not constructed yet. So we do have some water credits which lined up. It's in our permit, but it's a future development, and this will be in North County. If you guys know where North County wastewater plant located, it's on 69 Road in Palmetto. It's like a Buffalo Creek, Little League, and soccer fields is behind. The site is set aside to build this plant. So we probably will extend a little bit when this plant will go in. We currently working with engineering firm to determine how better to use our water credits, because it is expensive to build a new plant. We can potentially transfer some of the credits to our existing East County well field, which already has wells built. So we in the middle of investigation what the best strategy moving forward. So this is location of our water treatment plant. So map, water treatment plant, this is a dam and Lake Manatee of Manatee Avenue. This is Mosaic well field in orange, and East County well field in purple. It's all the way in Duet Park. So you can have perspective. So all that water pumped to the plant for treatment from the wells. So surface water, I will talk a little bit about the treatment. As I mentioned, quality is not very stable in surface water. It's changed with weather, with temperature, with seasons, if it's raining or not, how hot it is. So occasional odor. It's a highly colored. It almost looks like iced tea. It's very brown. We have a lot of organics in our surface waters in Florida. It has byproduct precursors. So like when you disinfect and it has organics, it can create disinfection byproducts, which we're trying to avoid. So there are some challenges with treatment, and very susceptible to microbial contamination and spills, because we have no control over 60% of the land around the lake. So purification, we remove odor, we remove color, minimize byproducts, and we remove inactivated microbes. And unfortunately, I had it's all was animated, but it's not on this presentation. So how does it works? When you take water from Lake Manatee, it will flow through screens, just like fine screens first for debris removal. Then sometimes we add PAC, which is powder activated carbon. So if we have a taste and odor compounds in our lake, which usually when it's very dry and very hot, like May, like we usually would have taste and odor compounds, it might be in jasmine, and it's stuff which lives in the lake, and it will bloom, when it's very dry before lake turn around when it starts raining. So when we have event, we add power activated carbon. We don't do it all the time. And we also have a BTU, which our biological treatment unit. It's like a filter which has carbon particles with biologically active, and it removes the taste and odor and some carbon out of our raw water. So after that, it's go to rapid mix. When it's like a slow rotation, slow mixture in this tank, and we add alum polymer and lime. And what it does, it makes particles form. So because particles in water are very tiny, so it's very difficult to take them out. So we try to clump them together with polymer and alum. We clump parts together, and then when it's go to flocculation process, this mixer really slowing down, and so it starts rotating very slow in here, so particles can form and don't break. And after that, it's flows through sedimentation basin. It's a very giant basin. It takes several hours to flow through, and particles then becomes heavier, and they slowly settle to the bottom, and the clean water taking from the top of the basin through the weirs, and sludge collects on the bottom and pumped to our sludge beds. So after clean water collected from the top, it's still some particles present. It goes through filtration system, and after that, it goes to disinfection and corrosion control. Yeah.
So in this process, if and when fluoride were added, I realize it's not being added anymore to Florida waters, where would that be added?
What fluoride? So fluoride will be added after disinfection. It's a very last step. So we do not add fluoride now. I think So it's never been a standard to add fluoride. We do have some naturally occurring fluoride in Florida waters. So especially in groundwater. Groundwater is higher, surface water lower. So we still will have some trace amount of fluoride naturally occurring in the water, but we do not add fluoride now. So, but it's be after the disinfection. It would be like a tank in here adding the fluoride. Yeah.
This process that you're describing, is that like in one of these slides over here?
Yes. So the basin is this A basin is sedimentation basin. So water slowly goes through, and you can see some tanks in here. So the rapid mix tanks, they're smaller, and there's some mixers in here, and A basin flows like this, and B basin just flows straight. They're a little bit different. So B basin is kind of U-shape, and A basin is just straight basin. And water slowly flows through, particles settle to the bottom, clean water collected from the top, and sludge collected from the bottom. Yeah.
Is there a limit on the wells that you can do since the groundwater is so much better? Is there a limit on how much can?
We limited on our water use permit, only so much we're allowed to pump. So it's dictated by Southwest Florida Management District. They issue our water use permit, and we pump as much as we can. You know, it's better water, it's preferred water, but a lot easier to treat, but very limited. It's limited source because we keep building, and a lot of people move to Florida. A lot of other counties using groundwater. It's the same system on the ground. So surface.
Is the county looking to try and buy any of the other public land that's around the land?
I am unaware of us trying. I think it's one parcel which we consider currently of purchasing. I'm not sure where we at with that. I'm not involved in acquisitions, but yeah, it is one large parcel just east north from our plant. It's a big parcel we're looking to purchase, and we hope we can purchase it. It would make sense for us for our watershed protection. So groundwater treatment, very high quality. It does have, rotten egg smell. You could smell it sometimes. This irrigation water goes even from shallow wells. So H2S, hydrogen sulfide gas, present in groundwaters. It's very easy removed from the water because with very simple treatment, but it's present in there. We also, our groundwater is very hard. It has a lot of calcium and magnesium. So we do provide softening for calcium and magnesium, and generally free from microbes because it's deep in the ground, and consistent quality. It doesn't matter if it's a spring, it's a fall, it's summer, it's always high quality water comes from the ground. And our purification objective, we remove the odor, H2S smell, rotten egg smell, we soften the water, and we disinfect. So a lot easier process for treatment.
There's some folks in my neighborhood that have wells, and they use it for the irrigation, and it looks like they get rust marks on There's cement.
They have some iron probably in their water. Yeah, they usually irrigation water comes from superficial aquifers, so it's a lot closer to the surface. We lucky in Manatee County. We actually our geology is fantastic for shallow irrigation wells. A lot of counties don't have it in Florida, but we have a really good layer of superficial aquifer, which not cannot be used for drinking per se, but can use for irrigation. So that's quality is not as good as from deep wells like 1,200 feet
For a
wells.
residential well, how deep do they go?
Well, it depends where you're located in Manatee County. So I guess it varies, where in the county. So you really need to consult with a well driller. We do have wonderful rebates for well installations in Manatee County, and we actually in the process of looking into boost up amount of money rebated because we're trying to get people off the potable water for irrigation. It takes so much into treat water. We don't want to put it on the lawn if it's other alternatives. So, yeah, if you email me, I'll leave my business cards before I leave. So email me. I have a list of companies which do a lot of well drilling in Manatee County. So I can provide you with a list of people you can call. Yeah. Yeah.
The things that occur naturally in the water, what effect do they have on your dental health?
The fluoride in the water
No. Without the fluoride in the water.
on the dental health. I don't think I actually. It's an interesting question. I know fluoride topic been controversial for years for people, and there are people. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it has effect on dental health. The fluoride only element which actually tied in studies, in scientific studies to dental health. And some people believe it's fantastic and some people hate it. I know some native Floridians who have all their teeth in their 50s, no cavities, because they grew up in Florida well, which was rich in fluoride. Some people okay with natural fluoride, they just don't want any added fluoride. So I don't know if it's a wrong or right answer, but only fluoride actually tied in any studies to dental health.
I can talk with you afterwards. I'm a dentist. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So this is our groundwater treatment. So our water goes to degasifiers first, and it's like a big tall towers with like a almost look like tennis ball media inside, and water is sprinkled through those balls, and it strips out gas, and gas goes out on the top, and water flows down and those towers, and it takes out all sulfur gas. Like sulfur gas smell we have in water. So we add lime and polymer to flock the particles, sedimentation basing, which looks very similar to surface water. It just slowly flows through the basing and particles settle to the bottom. We do some pH adjustments sometimes in our post mix. Sometimes we do a little bit of disinfection in post mix, depends on the water quality and time of the year. This water usually more basic, compared to, we're trying to send water at 7 pH out of our plant, but because this pH is higher in here in groundwater and lower in lake water, when it's mixed in the end, it actually provides pH of 7, so it balances in the end. But this process happens all outside of surface water treatment. It's two different treatment processes and water blended in the end before it goes to distribution. So, and we filter it. It's like a filtration for groundwater. It's just dual media filters. 60s technologies has anthracite and sand, and it slowly goes through the media filter, and it's how stuff gets filtered out, the smaller particles. And after our filter groundwater and filter surface water, it goes to our blend chamber, and it's where we add ammonia and chlorine, and we disinfect with chloramines in Manatee County. And there are conversations about free chlorine versus chloramines. Why chloramines used in Manatee County? Because it's so hot, our system is very long, and chloramines are a lot more stable compound and stay in the system longer, so it protects against bacteria generation. So, and finished water goes to distribution in our storage tanks, and this what flows into your homes and businesses. So I wanted to touch a little bit about per capita water use. What does it mean? It's how many gallons per person per day used in Manatee County. So how we do in Manatee County with that. So there are standards. So our water use permit gives us compliance standard. We cannot absolutely use more than 150 gallons per person per day. This absolute compliance limit. If you violate compliance, you'll be in trouble with the state. Though besides our 150 compliance number, which came in mid-90s, we also have 106 compliance goal. What happens if you violate compliance goal? It means we have to do excessive evaluation of our system and figure out a better way to conserve water. So we will have to come up with extensive water conservation plan evaluation of our system if we ever go over 106 per our current permit. Looks like we've been doing pretty good. You know, we have some fluctuations in here. We was in 94 four, I think. And then we have additional deductions in there. It's just a straight number. If you take how much water was used in Manatee County, divide by how many residents, it's what it is, this number. But we improve a lot since 77 when we were at 200. So we're doing better. A lot of that is a passive conservation. What this means, our fixtures just use less water. When we flush toilets, it takes less gallons, you know, when our shower has a low flow. So industry moving that direction because it is a valuable resource. There's no reason to waste it. And you know, with that said, you know, as well we're doing, just a fun fact. How do Manatee County compare to like some other countries around the world? So they are still ways to conserve more, right? So, and unfortunately, about 50% of our water, if we irrigate with drinking water, goes to our lawn because we want to have green grass. So there are some other alternatives for it, and a lot of people over irrigate, you know, which actually unhealthy for the grass, you know. So I think a combination of education and just awareness, self-awareness can take us a long way. And we do have some regulations which address water conservation in Manatee County. Manatee County Comprehensive Plan actually prohibits to develop communities with potable irrigation. So if community is getting approved, it has to have alternative irrigation source. We do not approve communities with potable irrigation since 2003. So it's when this originally came about. And so it's been more than 20 years now for communities not being approved with drinking water irrigation. It's a different provision in Manatee County Comprehensive Plan and Manatee County Land Development Code. They both address irrigation with potable water. So stretching current water supplies through water conservation is much cheaper than developing new sources. As I mentioned, you know, cheap water is no longer available in here in Manatee County. We have a lake water, which is limited. You know, it's only so much we can take, only so much we can take from the ground. So if we conserve more, we can prolong our resources because next steps would be desalination, potentially connecting to Peace River Water Supply Authority. That water is not cheap, so it's a lot more expensive than what we have right now. So we do follow in Manatee County watering restrictions. I encourage everybody to follow them. You know, it's 2 times a week for all water unless you have a direct reclaim. If you don't have reclaim meter at your house, you're subject to watering restrictions. So most likely, even if reclaimed water comes into the ponds and mixed with storm water, with well water, it's still subject to watering restrictions. So it's twice a week. You know, a lot of counties do have once a week. So I'm not sure if we ever head in that direction or not, but it's just a state restriction. So it's called year-round watering restrictions. We always on watering restrictions in Florida. State of Florida always on watering restrictions. If we get severe drought, it's not me, is it? No. So if we get severe drought, in Florida. And how it's determined, they looked at levels of groundwater. So state determines it. It's not determined by the county. So if they're looking at level of groundwaters and level of rainfall and combination of different numbers, tells them, okay, we need to go to phase 2, or we need to go to phase 3, or we're in severe drought now, we cannot irrigate, we just don't have enough water to do that. So sometimes it's extra precautions put in place. It doesn't happen very often. We are subtropical in here, so we do have a lot of rain normally every year. So, but we currently, on twice a week watering restrictions, and if it's changes, we will update our website. So always fall back on our website on current information. Yeah.
New sod and new seed are exceptions to that.
Yes. So if you install new sod, you can apply for variance. You still will pay. Yes, you have to call the utilities and you have to register your project, and you need to have a variance number. So this way you will avoid potential fine for violating restrictions. So variance has to be issued. So first 30 days, it will be everyday irrigation, and next 30 days, 3 times a week. And then you go to regular schedule to let grass to establish. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, just contact utilities and we will issue you variance if you install the sod. Also, it has to be at least 50% of the irrigation zone, to be able to run the zone, and only for zones where you replace the sod, unless it's entire lawn replaced. So we will look at that. We will look what project was done and we issue you variance. Yeah. We do have some wonderful services through Manatee County available to all Manatee County residents. One of them is a free irrigation landscape evaluation. It's done by Extension Office. Utilities actually does finance the lab, irrigation lab. It has a irrigation tech and landscape specialist in there. They can come out to your property, provide very valuable information. If you need to fix your irrigation system, if your plants in wrong spots, they will let you know, and you can actually improve your yard. You can fix your irrigation system, and we do have some rebates available for people who participate. And it's a rain barrel program. I will touch up on our available rebates. So a rain barrel program. In here, we had a little change how you apply. It used to be through customer service. Now, if you want to apply, your best bet is just use your self-service portal. I don't know if you logged in for self-service portal. You just can apply for rain barrels through that, or you can call our main number. I will give you extension. It's 5327. If you can write on that slide, or instead of sending email to customer service, you will better serve if you email to water.conservation@mymanatee.org, and you can request a barrel that way. Yes.
I know this sounds crazy, but what is that for?
Rain barrel, to collect your rain and use it for your gardens. So you can, we provide the kit, so you will have to put it together yourself, but it's very easy to put it together. So you kind of turn barrel upside down. This part just will screw in on one of the taps, and it becomes the tap on the bottom of the barrel. You can build the stand, you can put it in a couple blocks to elevate it a little bit. You can connect a hose to it, and you can use it for your vegetable gardens. Just collect from your gutter, and gutter water will flow into your barrel, and you can use that water. So when it rains a lot in Florida, so it's a good system. Some people have a series of barrels, more than one, so yeah. Yeah, but it's available at cost. I believe they $52 now. We purchase them. They refurbished barrels, because in the store, if you buy a brand new one put together, it'd be a lot more money, But we're trying to do as cheap as possible. We don't make any profit on it. We just make it available for customers to purchase. So you can purchase the barrel if you want. And you don't have to have a Manatee County Utilities account. Anybody can purchase the barrel. Yeah, so it's not, not just people with account.
So I can purchase that and take it somewhere else to another state?
You potentially could. It's be a long drive, though, But yeah, we don't check. We reserve the limit is 4 barrels per person, so you cannot purchase more than 4. But we do have like a decent supplier now who we're buying barrels from. They're very clean. They all food grade, so it's never used for toxic chemicals. They're certified food grade barrels, so you can use it for your vegetable gardens. Yeah.
Any kickback from HOAs on having a rain barrel that you've heard?
I don't know what kind of bylaws every HOA has. We do not get involved in HOA disputes, but I hope your HOA can allow you to use your rain barrel. It's just the right thing to do. I know there are some universal laws about clothesline. If you want not use dryer and put clothes on the line, it's actually a law which prohibits HOA to prohibit you from that. But I don't think a rain barrel law exists. So
If you put it in the backyard, they're not gonna see it.
I know, right? So there are places you can put it where no one will see it, But it's a great program, A lot of schools do that. We work with local schools. They have like little gardens in schools, and they have our barrels. We help them set them up. All right. We do have a number of rebate programs for our customers. So one of them is a toilet rebate. This program been running in Manatee County since 2007. I am actually in the process of revising regulation. There are new grants available. So this program run in conjunction with SwissMod. I get a 50% of the funds paid by the state, which is wonderful, to give back to our residents. And now it's for toilets which like 94 and older, but we're trying to revise it because new grants available for toilets which 1.6 replaced with 1.28 and 0.8. So I trying to establish a new program. So I actually just received last night email from our county attorney's office with revised resolution. We need to revise our resolution and apply for new grant to start on October 1st. So it's a goal, to have additional rebates. And outdoor water conservation rebates for wells, irrigation system, landscape. It's for individuals or businesses. It's for individuals or businesses. Yeah, the business can do it. Like you usually need to have a water account, and it's designed for people who have portable irrigation. Yeah, our irrigation level come out regardless of your water source, but rebates available for people who irrigate with portable. We're trying to get people off the drinking water for irrigation.
Irrigation lab does require that you have control over your own irrigation system. If it's a community system, they can't help.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is our toilet rebate. Is it substance now? It's just for properties like for toilets, very high flow, 3.5 gallons per flush or more, built before 95, so 94 and older. But like I said, we're in the process of changing it because additional grants are available, and we still can save a reasonable amount of water. So SwissMod willing to contribute the funds to replace 1.6s, moving forward. Yeah.
I was unable to do that because the contractor threw out the old toilets.
Okay.
And the rebate says you have to.
You have to have it, but we do accept. So we worked with SwissMod. They're very strict about because they pay the funds, publicly raised funds. So they're very strict about paperwork, but they allowed the affidavits. So you can probably still can do it if you have your receipts. Just if you like sign affidavit, notarize it, we will accept it as a statement. Yeah, they told us they accepted, so it's what we keep for our paperwork in these cases. Or you can get statement from your plumber. Like if it's the itemized receipt from your plumber who did the work, if he states he removed 3.5s, we can take that too.
So they want your old toilet back.
Bill, was that?
We don't want the toilet back. We just want to prove what was there. So because SwissMod would not pay money unless it's a reasonable amount of water saved. There's a calculation of benefit calculation, how much gallons saved compared how much money is paid for it. So yeah.
How retroactive can this be, or can it be within 6 months?
6 months is our guideline internally. If you 6.5 months, we will work with you. just contact us. We will be happy to look at your case. Yeah. So outdoor water conservation rebate, it's originally established in 2003, then it was revised in 2005, and it was again revised in 2023 with this resolution 2329. It establishes financial rebates for customers up to $3,500 for a combination of different rebates. and eligible home businesses with portable in-ground irrigation system. It has to be average consumption for last 2 years leading to rebate at least 8,500, which low if you irrigate with portable, and a property has to have a protection against backflow. Outdoor rebate categories, we have irrigation system repair replacement, landscape retrofit, rain shut-off technology, water sense smart irrigation controller. Well is our biggest rebate. It provides most benefit for saving because it takes you completely from drinking water. And we kind of looking into increasing this one, for Manatee County. So I'm not sure in the time frame yet. I'm still working on it, but we're hoping because our prices on the wells went up, so we seeing people installing wells for like $4,000 now. I see $10,000 to $12,000 they paying for the well. Yeah, so with all pricing going up, so we want to pay truly 50% cost for people. So 2,500 probably not enough. It used to be 1,000 before our last revision, but prices, we just can't keep up with prices. And alternative water source, reclaimed water connection. So
What alternative water source?
if you have a big pond and a backyard, you potentially can draw from the pond, and if you have some piping installed for that, you can get rebate for that. So, yeah.
Is there information on the website on how to apply for the rebates and everything?
Yes, it is on the website. We have a new website, so we're walking through kinks still, but applications are there, and you always can email us and water.conservation@mymanatee.org if you have questions about rebates, and someone will get back with you. Should be within 24 hours. So our next part, we will touch about our wastewater treatment facilities. So we know we open the tap and water flows in, and then it goes somewhere after that. So that's what we will talk about. So what is water reclamation and why is it important? So with over 400,000 people living in Manatee County, it will be quite a load on our nation if we don't treat it. So we need to treat our wastewater. And it's not just the toilets and the showers, it's our washing machines, it's our dishwashers. We use so much water. It's also some water which goes to the drain with rains, overflows. So water reclamation, also called wastewater treatment, and it's a process of removing contaminants and suspended solids from wastewater. So water comes in, it looks kind of gray when it comes in. Gray, and it has all kind of particles inside. Water reclamation facility are designed to speed up the natural process of purification of water, because so many people, big load. So we do have 3 facilities in Manatee County. They strategically located. We have Southwest Water Reclamation Facility. It's like a 65th Street and State Road 70. This is location of our East County wastewater treatment plant, and we do have a North County at like 69 Buffalo Creek area, in Palmetto. So that's our another facility. So Southwest is 15 million gallons a day, Southeast and here 11, and the North Reclamation Facility in 7.5. With I believe some expansions in the books, because with more people living in Manatee County, we need to treat more water. So where does it start and where does it go? So when water is flushed, rinse down a drain and travels through the Manatee County collection system and through one or more of our 750 plus lift stations. So Florida is very flat, if you notice. We don't have any mountains unless it's a dump, so we have a pump station to assist water move along towards our treatment facilities. We do have a lot of stations, so over 750. Our collection system is 433 miles of force mains, and approximately 1,300 of miles of gravity lines, and a collection system close to 25,000 manholes. So manholes needs to be maintained. We have a team of people with utilities which take care of wastewater needs. So this is location of our facilities. As I mentioned, Southwest, service the Green area, Southwest facility, East County facility, and North County. So I guess this map identifies the area it serves. So this is our Southwest Water Reclamation Facility. It's kind of like a nice aerial shot. And I will go a little bit through our process. How is it done? How do we treat this wastewater which comes in? And I will do my best because I don't work in wastewater, but unfortunately we had a dropout. I used to work in there, yeah. So, yeah, I am a licensed wastewater plant operator. So I maintain my license active, so I actually could operate wastewater plant. So this one is Southeast plant. It's where we're located right now. This is the site of Southeast Water Reclamation Facility. And the North Water Reclamation Facility is our smallest and is located at Buffalo Creek Golf Course area. It's kind of butted against the golf course in there. So the process of treatment of water, so first step is a headworks. So headworks, it's screens. When water, it looks gray and has debris in it. So headworks, it has fine screens which screen out like a bigger particles, like flushable wipes, toys, bigger particles which cut on the screens, like physical screens. It's a physical removal of particles. And those our bar screens, you can see, that's what they look like in our headworks. And stuff goes to the dumpsters wherever was screened out from our water, and it's done to actually protect our downstream equipment from the grit and particles, bigger particles. Grit removal, it's like a little bit smaller particles like sand and stuff which goes through the bar screens. This goes to grit removal unit and also to protect future treatment. So our grit is removed and next step. So I guess it's a limitation of treatment capacity with grit removal facility. So it's what determines our flow. Head cells and green snails. So this is what the equipment looks like for grit removal. That's for like a sand and like a smaller particles which goes through the screens and they kind of removed to the dumpster and go to the landfill. We have a septic services stations, like if people pump their septics, it goes to the station, which actually located in this site, and people can dump, and it also goes to the wastewater plants. It's how that stuff is treated. Primary treatment, once it goes through the headworks and grit removal, then we have a biological treatment. So it's kind of interesting. So we do have bugs, and oxygen, and looks like a bubbling sludge. If you see the basin, it's like bubbling sludge, and it's all about keeping bugs happy and healthy. So you want to have enough bugs to eat all the stuff. But if you have too many bugs, then they compete too much and they start dying. So it's an amount of oxygen and food and amount of bugs to keep process happy. So we have operator in our plants which 24/7 watching the process, Even it's a biological, it's very much controlled by our operators. And if you do have too much sludge, it has to be wasted, and it's go to the sludge belts, and I'll touch up on that facility. So here's our basin. So you see sludge basins, they kind of look like a bubbling brown sludge. That's what it looks like. So, and this where main treatment of wastewater is happening. It's all biologic. After that treatment happens, water goes to clarifiers, and it's like a circle tanks. I think it's a picture, next slide. Yeah, this is our clarifier. So water goes from the sludge bed into those clarifiers. I think this is a southwest one. We have 4 of them. They're circular. So water, arms rotating, sludge slowly going down, water overflows, like you can see this weirs on the end. and clean water flows from the top, and sludge all settles to the bottom and removed from the bottom. This is like kind of like a side view of the basin. So arm is rotating. This is mechanism which removes your sludge on the bottom, and you see those weirs, water overflows on the top. It's the cleanest water which flows into filtration afterwards. So secondary filtration, well, was a treatment. Secondary filtration targets suspended solids and fine particles. So after water flows from the top of the clarifier, it still may have some particles in it. So we want to make sure we get rid of those fine particles which made through the surface. And it goes through filtration. And there are some updates of filtration. We traditionally had the sand media filters, somewhat similar to drinking water. It's a little bit different. It's a sand filters, not a dual media. But water would slowly filter through and remove all those particles and go to disinfection. But they currently installing belt filters, which be more fine process, better removal of particles. So I believe this is a Southwest facility when they currently doing upgrade of filtration project. And the chlorine disinfection and wastewater, we're trying to remove the pathogens. We use our water, our reclaimed water is actually highly treated wastewater. So a lot of people use reclaimed water to irrigate their lawns. We do have a developed system, Mars system in Manatee County. So we want to remove the pathogen. We're worried about public health. We want to prevent disease. We have to comply with regulations. There are a lot of regulations to do with wastewater treatment, and we want to produce the best, highest quality product we can for our residents to use.
So is that water used for like irrigation mostly? Is that what?
Yes, yeah. So it's used for irrigation. We also do have some deep well injection, but we're trying to use as for beneficial reuse as much as we can. Our system went into place, I want to say 1991. I could be wrong. I know it was late 80s or very early 90s. It's called Mars project, So we have our 3 wastewater facilities connected, and we have reclaimed water delivered in different part of the county, So it was a lot earlier than most counties. So we have a level of appreciation of the vision of visionary who ran our county, in the past, So a lot of counties didn't experience that, so they had to do it a lot later after everything built up, It's nice to put the infrastructure in before all the homes went in. So, but you have to remember, for every house which can use reclaimed water, you have to have 3 houses to use drinking water. So you cannot produce enough reclaimed water for every house, because some solids removed, some stuff goes somewhere else, some stuff goes on earth, So not all that water available is a reclaimed water. So to produce enough reclaimed for 1 house to use, 3 houses need to use potable water. Yeah. So then we do chlorinate our water. So we're required to chlorinate it because even after filtration, it's still some pathogen can live in the water. So we want to make sure there's no pathogens in there. So this is our chlorine contact chamber and wastewater facility. Wasting of the sludge. So this is our sludge contactors. It's where biological treatment happens. Like I said, if it's too many bugs and not enough food for them in wastewater coming in, then we have to waste some of that sludge, or they all will die, they will starve. We need to keep them happy, healthy, and well fed. So where that sludge goes, wow, this is a sludge holding tank. It was yeah. I don't know him personally, but kudos to the guy, right? And like I stated previously, our goal for you guys to use your water and don't think twice about it. If you do that and you're able to do that, we're doing our job, and our utilities. So, but a lot of goes into the treatment of drinking water and wastewater. So Our sludge goes to filter presses. So they are belt presses, which we remove additional water, and water goes back into the treatment, because we do not want to waste any water. We want to use every drop of water. So when sludge is dried up on the belt presses, it's still kind of like a cake. It's not super dry. So we do have biosolids dryer. It's actually on site and here on this site. So which processes our sludge from all 3 plants. We produce apparently over 40,000 tons in 2024 of sludge. We produce pellets which could use for fertilizer, when we actually sell it, and we made some revenue selling our sludge for agricultural purposes. So that's a great way to recycle this stuff, and still produce some revenue. This is some pictures of our biosolids dryer inside the building. And we're not doing the dryer tour, I assume, today. I think it's just a landfill tour today. But this is another picture of the dryer with a big drum. So this picture of Southwest Water Reclamation Facility, I think it's Tom. I used to work with Tom. It looks like Tom from the back. So they have a very excessive SCADA system in there. So it takes a lot to operate the plant. Like I said, it's 24/7 operation. Someone always there. They always have to have a licensed operator who's watching the system in each plant. They usually have 3 people shifts on Southwest plant, and everything in SCADA system, they can open pumps and closed pumps. They can waste sludge from their operation center. They can determine what needs to be done, some probes in there, water quality tested. And it's what their screen looks like, so they can see levels of the tanks. And we usually have operator in charge on every shift, and operator in charge does operational decisions throughout his shift. So it's 12-hour shifts every day, 24/7. It's not closed for the holidays because it's keep flowing. Yeah. And this is our Mars system screen, which was provided by our wastewater people. And this one shows storage capacities. And Mars, it's again our program for reclaimed water distribution. That's what we distribute for reclaim use. This is our master reuse system. To distribute reclaimed water through Manatee County. We do have some in North County, like everywhere. Some areas don't have available reclaim just because this was developed a very long time ago, and it's just we don't have infrastructure on the ground, and it's very difficult to install infrastructure in communities which have been developed a long time ago, roads already there, so it's really difficult. And again, we don't really have enough water to produce for every single user in Manatee County, so all new developments, if it's available, they're required to connect. So this one was before and after rendering. Let me see which plant it is. Any guesses? Anybody here from utilities? I'm sorry, it wasn't my slide. Yes. Yes. Here we go. So it looks like they add contact. I think it's southeast. It looks like this plant. It doesn't look like southwest. So they add additional capacity. So they going through expansion of their wastewater plants now, so it's in CIP. So it's all planned and all in process. Some plants in process, some already done. Solid waste. Yay, I'm done with wastewater. Sorry, guys. So if you have any questions about our wastewater treatment, I hope I can assist, or I can take your question and get back with you. You have my, yes?
Pellets that you mentioned that
Yeah.
can be used for fertilizer.
Yes.
You purchase those at the extension center or where?
I think it goes more to like a farmers and the bigger users. We do sell them in bulk. It's not like packaged in the small packages for homeowners. No, it's a holdout by the trucks. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna start with the wastewater because you may not be able to answer this.
Okay.
So one of the things that I know that they're concerned about, particularly in healthcare, is filtering out medication byproducts, like related to even antibiotics, whether it's used on domestic animals or it's used on humans. I mean, humans.
Like forever chemicals. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that engineers for at least the past decade have been trying to figure out how to filter out these medication byproducts in the wastewater. Have we made any progress?
Yeah, I will have to get back with you on that one. So they have advanced water treatment, now. Ours still a biological treatment. I know they re-envisioning our wastewater treatment and plans because there are a lot of projects going on, for expansion. It can't be treated, like membranes take everything out, all it takes is money, So it's harder to treat to higher degree. It takes more equipment, but it's all treatable. So we do not use reclaimed water and watershed, in watershed areas where it can go into our drinking water. Luckily, we don't eat grass in our lawns. Some farmers do use reclaimed water. They don't seem to have issues with the load of the chemicals, but yeah, it's a good question. It's always way to do better. And I think with methodology of testing, actually we detect now more stuff, not because it wasn't there before, because we can now, because with science advancing, so we can detect like drop of something in Olympic sized pool now with new methodology, before we couldn't, so it's part of it. But yeah, I will just get back. I can get back with you, if you leave your information, about it.
Yeah, I think if you just give the answer to Laura, then she
Yeah,
can send it to everybody.
Yeah.
So I was a science judge on a project engineers were doing back in Philadelphia about 10, 12 years ago. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's a thing.
Well, portable reuse, it's next step. I know a lot of people have ick factor, but it's happening. It's happening in other states, but in Florida, I personally tour One Water in Lakeland. Direct portable reuse. It's mean they treat wastewater and put it directly into your drinking water. So they have a pilot plant. They can demonstrate it. They will drink it in front of you. That water is cleaner than what comes from Lake Manatee, because, Lake Manatee water has a lot of organics too, It's all about what degree you treat water to. If you put like through a raw membrane, nothing goes through, You actually need to reintroduce some minerals to make it more stable, because very clean water is aggressive too. It's most aggressive chemical. It's how it dissolves all the riverbeds, and it dissolves the minerals on the way. So they have to stabilize the water after the treatment. But
So I have another question if nobody else has any more.
sure.
Okay. So the next question, probably most concerned about it related to potable water, is security. So I lived in a county, that was considered a commuting neighborhood for New York City. So immediately post 9/11, there was all this concern about securing our water, and we literally had security guards there. Is that a thing today?
We do have security guards at our water plant, so our plant is protected with armed security guards. It's always concern since, not just 9/11, but other natural disaster can compromise water sources. We have to have a plan which updated every 5 years, which file with EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. We're required to really look at all threats, and we address them as best as we can. We have plan, for different kind of scenarios, So this plan is somewhat a secret plan. It's not publicly available because we don't want people know vulnerabilities of our system, but we require by law to file it with federal government, and we do. So But yeah, it's with hurricanes the same thing. Stuff can get compromised, not maybe unintentionally. So we watching. We test. We excessively test our distribution system. It tested daily. We're not just testing whatever comes out of the plant. We're testing in people's homes. We're testing in different sides of distribution system. It's like hundreds of sample sites every month. Yeah. So we watching. Any other questions? All right, guys. So our next section, we want to take a break? I guess it was fairly short, right? No one needs to take a break. Okay. So the next section is for our solid waste and recycling, and here's Mary.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Mary Okendo, and I'm the recycling coordinator for Manatee County. Today, we're going to go over about the Big Ben rollout that everybody's been talking about and the big hype. So pretty much before we get started, we have two franchise haulers. We have Waste Management and Waste Pro as our franchise haulers. Our recycling credit for recycling is 57% in the state of Florida. We have 67 counties in the state of Florida, so we are at 57. So we're in the top 10 out of the 67 counties. So as a recycling, we're not doing bad. We're doing really good, and we want to continue improving our recycling credits. At the landfill, we operate 6 days a week. That we will be touring the landfill pretty soon. And then the scale house has 116K transaction a year, and we receive 501K tons a year in collections with materials for household hazardous waste and diverted materials. So as you guys know, we will be providing a 96-gallon garbage bin to all the residents in unincorporated Manatee County. This does not apply to the city of Bradenton, city of Palmetto, or the islands. It's just for unincorporated. We will be going down to once a week collection. And then when you place your garbage container at the curbside, make sure that the arrows are facing forward and you do the 3 feet clearance because we're going automated and we want to make sure that it gets collected since we're going to once a week. Everything has to be inside the container. We don't want things on top or leaning against it because it will not get collected. Since we're going automated, we don't have the two guys in the truck anymore, so we're going down to one guy. So we have to make sure everything is inside. And then there is the same thing for recycling. We want to make sure that everything stays inside your recycling cart as well. Nothing has changed with your recycling service. Your recycling service will still the same with your 64-gallon recycle cart. If you need an additional garbage bin, you can contact utilities, or you can go to mymanatee.org/bigbin. In that page, there will be a request that you can request your additional 96-gallon. It will be $13.31 extra a month for that additional cart. It will be delivered on the second wave of deliveries. So your first delivery will start August 18th through the end of September. The minute you receive your container, please start using it. Then the second wave for the residents that request that second container, that will be sometime in October that you will receive that second container at your curbside. And then for bulk pickup and free annual, we're no longer having those as a free annual or as a bulk pickup. So you will have to call utilities to schedule that bulk at the curbside or for your free annual, and there will be a fee related to that. And then just call utilities and you will get that schedule. Yes, ma'am.
In terms of hurricanes and that sort of stuff, is the fee gonna be how much debris there is. I mean, around the corner from my house, there was a ton of flooding, so people had like everything out on the curb.
When we go into a storm scenario, it's a totally different contract. We hire a third-party vendor, so the rules and procedures to collect those big bulk debris is totally different. Pretty much, this is just your regular day-to-day operation of your garbage, recycling, and yard waste at the household. You're welcome.
Question. When does the free annual pickup start?
So if you would like to use your free annual currently for this contract year, your last day to submit it is August 30th. I mean, sorry, September 30th. So that's your last end date. So your ticket has to be in the system by September 30th. If you schedule it on October 1st, it will not get done. Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain what free annual is?
So a free annual for Manatee County residents, you're able to pretty much put the whole house outside in the curbside, pretty much, from October 1st to September 30th every year, and it's a free cost. And then we will collect it at the curbside. And then the bulk item is currently, if you place your 32-gallon garbage at the curbside and then you have a TV stand and a mattress, those two will get collected as a bulk, only two bulk per your 32. It will go with no charges and no issues. But moving forward with the new contract, unfortunately, it will be a cost related to that. So everything has to be inside your container. So if you can break down that TV stand and, put it inside that container, more than welcome. You can go ahead and do that.
Do you want to talk about being able to drop it off at the landfill for the reduced fees?
Yes. So for when you call it into utilities, if you have a TV stand or a mattress, for example, it will be $59 for the mattress and $59 for the TV stand. So if you don't want to get that charges into your account, you're more than welcome to bring that to the landfill. If you come with your vehicle or SUV, it's $5. And if you come with a truck, not a trailer attached, just a single truck, it will be $20. So you have that option that it will be cheaper instead of putting it at the curbside with the $59 charge. For yard waste, another change that we have is no more plastic bags. So for your plastic bags, for yard waste, so that means your options will be the bundle, the bag it in a paper bag, or in a container, in a garbage container. So for those of you that have your 32 garbage container, you more than welcome to keep it, and that can become your new yard waste container. And then you don't have to worry about those plastic bags. So then that will be your options. The bundle, 4 feet in inches, for just 4 feet only, sorry. And then no more than 40 pounds, okay? And for yard waste, I know that sometimes you might need multiple paper bags or multiple containers because of how much you have to cut around the house. They are, you can have as many as you want. You can have 2, 3, 4, 5. That is okay. We're staying the old-fashioned way with that one. That means the rear loader, the back of a truck, and you have the driver and you have your helper, okay? For recycling, like I mentioned, nothing has changed. Everything stays the same. And for recycling, we want to make sure that we keep it simple. And it's just your paper, your cardboard, your metal, plastic, and glass. If you have any doubts if this is recyclable or not, just throw it in the garbage. At the same time, in our website is the Waste Wizard. You can put it on the search bar on the front of the homepage. You can go to that Waste Wizard and you can type whichever question you might have of an item, if it's a garbage item or if it's a recyclable item, and that gives you the information if it's garbage or recyclable. And if it's not in that category, there's an orange button. You can click on it, and then it will notify us to add that information into the data. Okay?
Quick question. What about labels on like cardboard boxes and things like that? Like if there's a label.
Oh, a label? No, that's fine. You can go ahead and place your cardboards with labels. Yes. Okay, so in a perfect world, this is how we want to see it at home. So we want to make sure that everybody does the 3 feet clearance because it's really important. He's going animated and that claw is coming out. So we want to make sure that we can service you on that one day a week that we're going down the street. So please, no vehicles in front of it because he's not going to be able to service you. 3 feet apart. And then these are the options that I mentioned for yard waste: paper, bundle, or can it. Okay?
How far away from the road?
Not too far. We want to do the 3 feet as well because that claw is not going to go all the way inside. So we want to make sure that you keep it close to the curbside, to the road as well. Okay?
Question?
Yes.
If it's more than 3 feet, there's no problem because I use mine on either side of the
No, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
So if we're going to one day a week, are they still gonna charge us for pickup twice a week?
So this is an industry change that we're going into. Pretty much the whole state of Florida has changed into the once a week collection. We're towards the end, one of the last counties to change into that. So it's the modern way of doing the garbage service. So for the county to keep the same cost, they went down to once a week, but then they gave you a bigger container so then you can stuff for the 2 times a week collection that you have been being serviced for the past 19 years. So yeah, so we're moving into a modern industry changes. So it's, the business.
But that's for like unincorporated?
Yes, ma'am.
But for the regular city of Bradenton, it stays the same?
Yes, they have a different contract. It's a different entity. We don't manage them. It's just is all unincorporated. So every city of Palmetto, city of Bradenton, and the islands, they have their own government office and rules and contracts with the garbage service. Totally different than ours.
So 2 questions. Out of curiosity, the current waste haulers, since they're contracted with you folks, should probably ask them, but will they be able to fit the trucks with the clause, or there's 2 completely new trucks for them?
So they're getting new trucks because we implementing the third eye service, and that is all the new trucks are gonna have a camera eye system, and it's at the same time in your container. In the front of your container, you're gonna see like a QR code little bar with digits. That is gonna be assigned to your household. So when the gentleman pulls up in the truck, he's gonna take a photo, boom, 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 with the new system. He's gonna service you, boom, 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 boom. He took another photo. You call in that you didn't get service. We're gonna go back to that data and say, yes, we were there at 6:05. You didn't have your container out, or you had a vehicle blocking it, or you had this blocking it. So yeah, we're getting brand new trucks and high end, all digital, a bunch of high tech stuff.
So the second question is, for the different types of waste that we pick up, is it a truck for home waste, a truck for recycle?
Yes, ma'am.
So you guys, if you want to find out when is going to be your single day of collection, go to my Manatee/Big Ben and type your address, and you will get your new service day. It's going to show you that day that you're going to get service, and you will have 3 trucks coming down the street at different times, but it will be on that one day. So that means no more yard waste Wednesdays. So everything in one day. Okay? Any more questions? Yes, ma'am.
You know, like like Publix, I don't know, maybe Walmart too. They have those recycle bins, like for the foam, egg carton, and the plastic bags. Is that real? Is somebody
Yes, ma'am.
asking?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm the recycling coordinator, so I submit the data to the state of Florida every year, and I get the data from Winn-Dixie, Publix, and Target that has that tonnage information for those containers in front of the properties, plus what they do in the back as well with the cardboards, because they recycle all those cardboards that comes in with the groceries. So yes, everything is recyclable. You're welcome.
Along that line, when you take the grocery bag to the grocery store, can you put in the plastic bags from like Amazon and stuff? Or is it just strictly grocery bags?
No, you can put the ones, like your bread bags, your tortilla bags, your sandwich bags if they're clean. Yeah, you can put that in, not in our recycling cart at the curbside.
No, and can you put it in with the grocery bags that you take to the store?
Yes, yes. Yeah, because want to make sure no plastic bags inside of your recycle cart. Everything has to be loosely inside of your recycle cart, and nothing is changing with recycling. The gray container, I have it right outside this room, so you guys can take a look at it. Everything has to be inside, but on a garbage bag. So make sure you close your garbage bag nicely, leave it in there. Another thing, don't put it too tight. If you put too much items inside that container, when that claw comes in, he's going to squeeze, and then the bottom items are going to stay at the bottom. So don't pack it too tight. So it has to be kind of loosely, okay? Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. I just want to go over these folders real quick.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Just want to clarify. So you're saying like a bubble envelope for a shipping envelope, say from Amazon, that can be recycled with the plastic bags at the grocery store?
Yes, they can. They have the facility. They're able to to process that. Yes, ma'am. But not in our curbside recycling.
Yeah, I know they didn't go there.
Yeah, because I think the stores actually ship
Things to the recycling centers that can handle those. Just we can only recycle what our processor accepts. So they have different machines for that, and that's how that works. But I didn't know about that, so that's really cool. Okay, so so there's been a lot of change with our solid waste program that's upcoming for October, which Mary talked about. To try to make it a little bit easier, you each got a folder. It has our. Oh, you didn't get one? Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? Because you guys were talking, I didn't want to interrupt you. You were asking questions. Sorry. Can I have you pass those down? Okay, so your orange folder has our Big Bin website. If you go directly there, you will have an icon at the top that has the resident information tool. You can look up your new service day and your existing service days. It also has on there for bulk pickups. It has information about the new changes and all of our FAQs. And that website is being updated several times weekly at this point because we're trying to listen to the questions we're getting and trying to answer them the easiest way possible. We also have the email address on the front folder, so if you have any questions, send an email. We're happy to help. So inside your folder, we have a quick FAQ sheet. So these are the commonly asked questions and answers. We have the information for the new garbage bins, the flyer. We have one in English and Spanish. And then we have the do's and don'ts of recycling and garbage collection that Mary was talking about to make it easy. So we have what can go in, what can't. And the same for garbage. And so we also still, did you talk about the household hazardous waste?
In the tour.
Okay, perfect, awesome. And then, so yeah, that's just some information for you guys. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We're happy to talk to you about it. And the other thing we're really trying to do is get out into those communities and HOAs, community centers. We'd be happy to come and do a talk with you. We'll bring the recycling and the garbage bin so you can see the sizes, roll them around. Any of that, just reach out to us and, we're happy to help. Thank you.
All right, guys. So now we're going to go into a landfill tour. And then after the landfill tour, you will have a tour of this facility as well.